He's wanted for espionage in the United States and has been granted asylum in Russia. But whistleblower Edward Snowden made an appearance in Tucson today via Skype. In a panel discussion with Noam Chomsky and the journalist who first told his story, the man known for revealing U.S. surveillance programs spoke about privacy issues and their importance to the American people. And it certainly got people talking after the event.
No one argues that we should shut down every surveillance program in the country. No one says we should list the names of everyone who's under surveillance on the newspaper on an individualized basis. But if we are to have a democracy, if we are to be partner to government rather than subject to it, we must know at least the broad powers and privileges that the government is claiming. We must know both what they are doing in our name and what they're doing against us, or else we're no longer directed by the public. We're ruled from above. The central issue that I really come back to here in the context of what the questioner was asking of, do we deserve privacy, right? Is the world ready for the public to have privacy? Well, again, it's embedded in our language. We're called private citizens and public officials because the government is supposed to know in almost every case very little about us, about the ordinary people, whereas we are supposed to know nearly everything about their activities. Yet because of the growth of state secrets, the growth of classification in many different ways, we know less and less about the government than we ever have before.
One thing I thought was really interesting about this particular sort of discussion was how they really interrogated that issue of terrorism and how we sort of use this fear of terrorism as a real roadblock to having a substantive conversation about privacy and our rights to privacy in the United States, right? That was definitely one of the things that I guess impacted me the most, the sense that these mass surveillance programs really aren't all that effective in protecting us from terrorism. So then what is the actual purpose?
And I think it's so seductive to think, oh, I can put all these things on Facebook, I can share these parts of my life with other people. I'm sharing them with everybody else. And if you take things out of context, we all have things that we'd really rather nobody else know about. We don't really want to think about for ourselves sometimes, things we've done.
That's just sort of saying, let's just look at everyone, see what we can find. It really does infringe on a basic fundamental rights of the U.S. that we've been told have been promised to us our entire lives.
When asked whether he would leak those classified documents again, Snowden said absolutely, and he wished he had done it sooner.